Hey, Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man. So today we're going to learn how to read a ruler. And I learned this a few years ago when I was applying for a factory job, but I had just did my extended research tonight because I wanted to answer a question that everybody has. So the question is, why can't you fill up a lip gloss tube all the way to the neck? And I was like, well, let's do our extended research and give the people an accurate answer on why you cannot do that. So the whole purpose of you not being able to fill up a lip gloss tube all the way up is because it has a fill line. Usually you'll see that fill line in a squeeze tube like right here. And I wanted to know what was the distance between the lip gloss stopper and the fill line, because you cannot go over that fill line. So I just wanted to get into a little bit of the inches and different things like that. So that is how we ended up here. Now, I had came across this website that explains it really, really simple, but I do have my ruler here as well. So a ruler goes up to 12 inches. And the way you count this is going to be really easy. So this grid that we have here, they have this set up to where it's just starting from 0 to 1. And on a ruler, you have bigger lines, you have medium lines, you have smaller lines. And I can tell you where you get these numbers from because it makes a lot of sense when you actually look at a real ruler. So looking at this ruler from 0 to 1, when you count starting not at the 0, but starting at that next line, that's going to give you 1. So you're going to count 1, and by the time you make it here, you'll be 16. Now, for some reason, the beginning of the ruler from 0 to 1, it looks a little bit different, but it still adds up the same. So from that first line, which would be here on a bigger one, to here, these are all 16s. So on the ruler, the larger numbers like the 0, 1 through 12, those are going to be your full inches. So those are the numbers in the full inches. Then you have these, they're not full lines, but like half lines. So these are going to be your, these are your full inches here, the whole numbers. Then you have your half inches, which goes to these like, mid-size lines. And then you have your, these are going to be your quarters right here. And then this is where you get into your 16ths. And I am kind of looking over on my notes as well, but they have this information down here as well. So when you count, you'll see that all of the tiny lines is 16ths. So that's where they got the 16ths from. Where they got the 1 from, you can count this 2 different ways. You can count it 1, and then, this would be 2. That'll be 3, that'll be 4, that'll be 5. You can count it just going by ones, or this might be a little confusing, but you could kind of count it like 2s as well, because you will see how we skip the numbers. So you'll know that the number 2 kind of look like it follows here. So that'll be 2. Well, I think I did that right. Let me see. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it'll go. So you count it 2 different ways, but we won't try to do too much. So the easiest way to count that is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in your half an inches, you'll have the number 16, because that's all of the tiny lines here. It's always going to be 16. And then you get the number 1, because every time you start after 16, you're going to start over counting. So on this ruler, it'll be, 0. Then you'll go 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16, 5/16, 6/16, 7/16, 8/16. I think I'm right here. 9/16. 11/16, nope, I was right there. 12/16, 13/16, 14/16, and 15/16, 15, 16, 16, 16. So by the time you get to that next bigger line, you'll have to start over, and then by the time you get there, you'll end up at that number 1. But in between, that's pretty much how you get those 16ths, because on the ruler, all of these little lines will just always equal 16, and then you'll just pretty much start over. That's the way they made this thing, but it's easy to read. So I found this website, and this is just what they were saying here as well. What do the markings on the ruler mean? So the full inch would be the larger ticks. So that would be like the 1, the 2, the 3, numbers 1 through 12. Those would be your full inches. Then you'll go down and you'll do the larger ticks between the inches would be the 1/2 inches. So those are going to be like those second, mid, kind of long lines, but not really. And then the mid-size tick between the inch tick and the 1/2 tick is going to be the 1/4. So that's going to be that little. So this is going to be your full inch. This is going to be your 1/2 inch. Then this is going to be your 1/4 inch. And then you go down, and then you'll get the smaller ticks. Those are going to be your 8-inch ticks. And then you get your 1/16. So this is where they're getting that information from. Because when you look at a ruler, you'll see that it's 16. And that is, it's pretty much it. To me, it was a little bit easier, like reading that on this ruler behind the scenes. So what I come up with is I started it right here. And I started it at this 0, and then I put the 0 directly like right here on this part, and I took the tube out. So the tube is probably about 3 16ths by itself, the stopper. But with the stopper in, I started at 0, then I started like right here, and then I'm trying to get some good lighting here. Then I'm trying to bend the ruler as well. But right here, I end up with, so when I start the 0 right here at like this, the beginning of the stopper, I end up getting 1 1/16 inches underneath the stopper for the fill line. So from the stopper to the fill line is 1 1/16 inches, and you do not want to overfill that, because what happens is if you overfill that, the lip gloss will look like this. There'll just be different things going on. You won't even be able to put the stopper on. You won't even be able to put the top on. And if you have a wand tube, it's going to be messy. So that is the main purpose of why you cannot overfill the lip gloss tube, because they're created like this. I know sometimes we feel like, and it's crazy because I feel like people just do that to small businesses, but that goes for like anything. Like everything has a fill line, and it's just, you'll have to, on different products, you can see what it is. Like this literally right here, that's how I know that's the fill line, because it had, and I can hear it like, and it's just this little invisible line right here so you don't overfill. But sometimes you can't see that, because when you put the top on, it's going to cover that up. So when you get this bottle, it's going to be filled right here. So like, oh my God, it's already filled up. But in reality, it's probably stopped about right there just so everything can fit. So it's not that somebody trying to cheat somebody out of the product. Just like this bottle right here as well. This is the fill line right here. You just don't want to go over that, so you can always put your top in. So it's not that somebody try to cheat somebody out of their product. It's just more of, that's how things were created. And, some things are out of our control, but it's just procedure, it's math. A lot of this stuff is like math. But especially with lip gloss, that's a big thing right there. And when you make it, you'll know that you can't do that. As much as you probably want to be generous, like I remember in the beginning, I was trying to be so generous, like, oh, let me fill it up. And that's nice. But you can't do that. And it's not that you're cheating someone, but you just can't you can't do it if you wanted to. So right here on your squeeze tube, that is going to be your fill line. Ladies, give the girls a break, honey, because, I be seeing it all the time. And I was like, let's get into it. Let's do our extended research. So you cannot overfill the fill line. You cannot oversaturate that line because something is going to break. If you have like heavier lip gloss tubes, they can break when you put the stopper in. You may not be able to twist the top on. You can't put the stopper on. So right underneath your, and it might be different on different tubes, but right underneath where you put the stopper in, you have to not fill over that inch and 1/16. So that inch and 1/16 is going to be right under the stopper, and you have to stop it right there. So if this was all the way filled with lip gloss, it'll probably look like that, which is still filled, but you do not want to go over that fill line. So I just wanted to stop by with a little bit of lip gloss wisdom, and also I wanted to stop by with some mathematics. I will leave this website that I found down in the description section as well, just so you can have this information. You can take your notes because they did get into it here. Like I said, you're looking at it yourself. It'll probably be way much easier to read and understand as well. But as you can see here, this is I feel like it was very easy to understand. Like they have a video on YouTube as well, and then you can start getting into other things. Now, after you go to the 12 inches, then you'll start getting into the yards. So I took a little note here. It says after the 12 inches, that's going to equal a foot. And then 1 yard equal 3 feet. So if you want to do a little math there, then you'll do the 12 inches times 3. That's how you get the 3 feet, and that's how you get a yard. But those things go further and further. So that's just some more extended research I'll be doing. But I did want to stop by here really quick because I was like, ooh, let's teach someone else this. But I'm super excited to have shared that information. This website looks like they have like conversions and different things like that, math calculators, just different things like that. And especially in business, it's going to be something really good to get and use and know, especially when you're getting pounds and ounces. Like sometimes somebody can give you an 8 ounce and you'll be like, oh my God, well, when I put on the scale, it was really a 10 ounce. So they gave me more. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. Like sometimes it could be that it was an 8 ounce with just the base, but then you started adding different things and now it equaled out to a 10 ounce. Or, sometimes things are not measured by, things are measured differently. So some things are measured by weight, pounds, some things are measured by the count. The different things like that. I remember the sardines they had made it clear that it's not measured by pieces, because sometimes you'll get the sardines and you might have 3 pieces of fish in there. Sometimes you'll get the sardines, you got a whole slab in there, you got 6 to 8 pieces in there. So on the sardine label, they let you know that this is not weighed by piece, this is weighed by, I think they said, volume. So it just depends. So different things will have different measurements, and it's always going to be good to keep you a good calculator so you can know and just learn the different weights and ounces and different things like that, because I know I was skipping math class, so I can't speak for nobody else. But that'll be all for this video. I want to say thank you for stopping by. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to look into our wisdom starter kit for beginners. We do have some other beginner topics there, such as how to write with both of your hands, so be sure to check out that video. God bless you. Alexis loves you. Mwah.